What's up, everybody? Ricky Carruth here. Welcome back to the channel. It's not even my channel anymore. It's all of our channels. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited today. This is our very first episode of a new show that I wanted to start called Real Coaching in Real Time. All right. So I came up with this because I was at an event that I spoke at, and I was outside of the event, and agents were coming up to me asking me questions and stuff. Happens, every time I go to an event, agents are coming up asking questions before, after, and there was a guy next to me, and this lady came up, and I forget exactly what she asked me, but I just told her just exactly how it was. She told me something, and I said, you know what? Here's why you're doing that, and here's why you're thinking that. And that guy was amazed, and he said that was real coaching in real time, and it stuck with me forever. So that's kind of why I've been thinking about this for a long time. And now with COVID and how everything is a lot different in terms of doing shows with people and doing events and different things like that, I wanted to do this and just to kind of bring a little more value and give agents more one-on-one with me, right? So this is how it's going to work, guys. I got 3 agents here with me from different places in the country. I'm going to bring them on, let them introduce themselves. Okay. And I'm going to give each of them 10 to 15 minutes to just chat it up about their business, how it's going, their ups and downs, their struggles, their successes, all the things that real estate agents go through. And at the end of the day, it's all about what I can do to help them put their business and put their life in a better place than where it is, man. If we can leave this show, if they can leave this show better than they came to the show, that's what I'm looking for. So let's see, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Make sure all that's working really good. And I'm going to introduce our agents here. So I'm going to start with Evelyn. Evelyn.
Hi, Ricky. My name is Evelyn Bianco. I'm from Miami, Florida. I'm with Coldwell Banker. I've been a realtor for, I think, almost a year. I'm not even sure it's been a year yet, but very close.
Okay. You think almost a year, like when I got
I'm
my
not sure if
license.
it's next month or this month. I'm not sure. But
Right.
it's close.
So you're somewhere real close, like either 11 or 12 or 13 months in. All right.
Yes.
Cool. Well, glad to have you. Thank you for doing this, and hopefully we can help you in some kind of way.
Great. Thank you.
Cool. Jonathan.
Hey Ricky, what's up? The real deal, Ricky Carruth. How's it
Me,
going,
man. That's
man?
me.
I call you for real because you're the truth.
All right, bro. Yeah, the truth, man.
I just wanted to thank you, man. I've been following you for over a year, so I really just wanted to thank you. You DM me, you helped me out throughout the year. But my name is Jonathan Young. I'm from New Jersey. I've been doing real estate for a little bit over 2 years now. And yeah, man, thanks to you, things have been going pretty good.
Good, man. Good. I'm glad to hear it, bro. Glad to hear it. Looking forward to chatting with you in a minute.
Thank you.
Cool. Steven.
Hey, Ricky. How are you, bud?
Good, man. Tell everybody your name, where you're from, how long you've been selling real estate.
My name is Stephen Ivory. I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah, 43 years old, pretty much brand new to real estate, been licensed for about 3 months now. I've been, self-employed for about 18 years. I found you on YouTube back in October. And after watching you, you really inspired me to actually get into real estate. So because of you, I started getting into real estate. Just doing part-time at the moment. So I'm, kind of running my other business and getting into the whole real estate thing. So kind of juggling the two, but having fun, following your system, making my calls and building my database at this point.
Nice, man. So you found me before you even took your pre-license is what you're telling me?
I found you before I even decided to do real estate, for sure. I had thought about it. I've wanted to do a career shift for a while. And I was like, oh, look into real estate. I looked up some videos and you popped up, started watching you. I'm like, this guy knows his stuff. This guy really resonated with the way I already run my business and the way I do my sales with, relationships over transactions is the principal focus. So Yeah, because of you, man, I got into real estate.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a teardrop here. So you were thinking about real estate and you searched real estate on Google or YouTube or something?
Yep, yep. I think the first video I saw of yours was how to make $100,000 your first year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that sounds good. So I'll look into this. And like I said, man, I really resonated with your energy and your
Yeah.
message.
Nice, man. Nice, man. I appreciate that. Those are some humbling words I'm hearing there, man. So I appreciate that.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Cool, cool, cool. So there's all four of us. All four of us are on the screen. So wave, everybody. Say what's up, what's up. If you guys want to come on this show, okay, before I get started, all you have to do is text my new number. I put the link in the description, not the link, but the number in the description. Let me get the number for you right here. The number is 251-312-8844. All you have to do is text that number and add yourself to my contacts. And this is where I'm picking. I gave away 20 books earlier this week, signed copies of my books. I mailed them all out today. Okay, I'm going to give away 20 signed books next week, the week after, the week after. All right, and this is where I'm picking people to come on this show as well. Okay, this is my new little community. All right, so that's where you go for that. Again, the number is 251-312-8844. All right, let's get into it. Let's bring Evelyn back onto the show.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool, cool. So we've chatted some on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually started going full-time in real estate January 6th, actually, full-time. I got lucky because I was able to close 2 deals in like 40 days, 45 days
Okay.
of first getting my license. Now what happens is that sometimes and then obviously you get this high, and then just this was like pre-COVID. So and then, you're like all into this, and then it just slows down. And then sometimes it's hard to just keep up the motivation. So one of my questions is, what is just one thing? I know that you do a lot of things every day consistently that keeps you motivated. And really we should be looking at what we do every day, not the results. But if you were to pick one thing that really helps you stay motivated every day, what would that be?
Well, that's a loaded question. There's so many things. So if I had to narrow it down to one thing, I think it would be kind of difficult because I have so many reasons for why I do things, like on one hand, when I was coming up in real estate and just the real estate business, not coaching, speaking, social media, nothing, just trying to sell real estate and become successful. The thing that really kept me focused was the fact that I knew that I could do it and nothing was going to stop me. And it was kind of like I had something to prove, not necessarily to anyone else, but it was like I had something to prove to myself, that I had to prove it to myself that I could do this. And, when you're a newer agent, and you'll relate to this, when you're a newer agent and you face a little bit of resistance, rejection, failure, losses, there's a fork in the road right there, right? And so a lot of, winners like myself, I'm a winner because I don't mind losing. It doesn't bother me at all to lose. If I lose a listing, if, this didn't go the way I thought, whatever, that doesn't matter to me because those are little battles. And I know who's going to win the war. See what I'm saying? So when I was coming up in the business, when I would lose listings or buyers wouldn't buy and I was needing a deal and stuff like that, it hurt. It hurt. But the winner in me said, what else can you do but to keep going? You know what I mean? And so, what happens is the people that either have to quit the business or end up being a low producer, they can't stomach the losses that it takes to be a winner. to be a purebred winner, champion, top producer, even a guy that's doing well on social media, anything that you can see success in, that person had to take a lot of losses, a lot of L's to get there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just the fact that you're able to stomach the hard times, puts you in a position where you have that winning mentality. So now fast forward to today, and it's like, what's the one thing that keeps me going and like keeps me moving in that positive direction? And that's always a moving target, because back then it was, I got to prove it to myself I can do this. Then with coaching, I stepped up and I was like, okay, I gotta save the industry. You know what I mean? Then it turned into I see what's going on in the real estate coaching world, and it's backwards, because you got new agents that can't afford coaching, that are putting coaching on credit cards. If you can't afford coaching, you need coaching because you're not making any money. So obviously you need some direction, but you can't afford coaching. And the people that can't afford coaching don't really need the coaching because they got disposable income to spend $1,000 a month. It's completely backwards from the way that it should be. And so I'm like, after trial and error, I'm like, okay, I've got to really do something here, because there's some people that need some serious help, and nobody is stepping up for the agents. You know what I mean? So then it turned into, I have to save the world, right? And so now, lastly, now I have a daughter that's 10 months old, and now everything that I do, every little thing that I do, when I wake up in the morning and answer DMs for 2 hours every morning at 4:30, as I'm working out, I answer DMs, I work out, and I answer more DMs before breakfast. It's 2 hours worth of DMs in the morning. And the reason that I get up that early every day, 7 days a week, and do that is so that I can keep up with my mission of helping the industry, so that I know that action over time is going to put me way ahead of all the other coaches out there, because none of the coaches are doing that. I reach out to coaches, like Ricky reaches out to some of the coaches that I know, and they don't even answer my DMs. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine what they're doing to just, regular everyday agents. You know what I mean? So kind of a long answer, but I felt like I had to get all that out.
No, that was good. That does make a lot of sense. I guess it comes down to drive.
Yeah.
I do have the drive. Sometimes I think I have too much drive. Sometimes I think that I don't know about, maybe not aggressive, but like, sometimes like when I cold call, sometimes I think that I follow up too much, or sometimes I think that it's just, I'm too, aggressive. So then I think like, maybe I just have to relax a little bit and just make it flow a little bit more naturally. I think that's
Yeah.
probably something too that I do.
Well, see, you're still real new, right? And so
Yeah.
you're still learning the process. You're still learning the game. See, what you need to realize is that closings are going to continue to happen every day, and that you don't have to force deals. In the beginnings of our career, we get into this mindset that we feel like we have to force the action. Like, we got to get this buyer to buy so that I can pay the bills and this and that. And what you don't realize is that buyer is going to buy when they get ready to buy. And you have zero control of that. And the more you try to force them, the more they're going to probably go use a different agent. And so what you have to do, and a lot of coaches disagree with my philosophy here, but I'm in the business of letting people do what they want to do. I'm more about creating as many friendships as I can in the market where people just want to do business with me, right? And then it's a reverse psychology on the market. So if I don't, like, with follow-up, you said you follow up too aggressively. What do you mean there?
I think maybe I follow up too much.
Like, what is too much the process? You calling every day, you texting every day?
I heard you say one time that you maybe follow up twice and that's it.
Right.
I might maybe like follow up 3 or 4 times, maybe in like make it a week or 2 between the follow-ups, but I keep on. I mean, maybe I just have to stop after the second.
Well, now listen, every situation is different, right? Like this is another thing. You can't put follow up in a box and say, this is exactly how you follow up with every single client, because every single client, every single prospect has a completely different situation going on, and they require a different follow-up process. And it all comes back to why they're buying or selling. You know, when you know why they're buying or selling, then you know the backstory and you know what's behind the scenes, behind the transaction, and then you can dive in there deeper and say, oh, well, if you're trying to buy because of that or sell because of this, then this is what we need to do. And when you start talking that language with them, and you start putting together a game plan around why they're doing what they're trying to do, instead of just buying the house. It's not buying the house, oh, let's do this. It's we're buying the house because we need to upgrade because we just had another baby. And you're like, oh my gosh, you know, that's incredible. Since you got, when do y'all do? You know, and what is this and what is that? And you get into the more deeper, right? See, just the transaction part, surface. When you find out why, now we're going deep into the relationship, you know, and we're able to really learn things about them that creates that bond. And that does two things. It creates a bond that they know that you care, and it gives you, when you know why they're trying to do stuff, then you can develop a game plan around that. And you know at that point, based on why they want to buy, of how aggressive you need to be. You know, I mean, if they're looking to buy because they're having a child, she just got pregnant, no, it's 9 months away. We know we don't need to follow up 4 times in the next week to try to show them property. They're looking to buy, you know, they may be looking to buy, you know, 5 months ahead of time, or maybe after the child is born. These are the questions you have to ask so that you know how to follow up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So just go deeper with your questions when you're dealing with your clients. And then that's going to help you figure out what the best follow-up is, and then set the expectations with them on the follow-up. Say, okay, well, if that's the case, I'm going to email you properties today. I'll text you when I send it. I'll call you the day after to see what you thought about them. And then they know in their head when they leave, they're going to send an email, text me when they send it, and call me the next day. What you're probably doing is you're probably leaving it open-ended, where you don't know when you're supposed to call and they don't know when you're going to call. And then when you call, it's a bad time. They weren't expecting it. And then it just gets weird from there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, that's exactly what happens.
right. So go deeper with why they're doing what they're trying to do, and then create a game plan around that, and then set the expectations and tell them when you're going to get back with them. You know, okay, cool. You guys want to go look at properties, you know, let's just say that same hypothetical situation. They're going to have a baby in 9 months. They want to own a house by the time they have the baby, but they don't want to buy it right now. They got to get a few things, you know, situated over the next 3 months. Maybe they got to get their credit up or something. Say, okay, cool. So do you guys want to go look at properties, you know, in the meantime, maybe in the next couple of weeks, you want to go look at some, or maybe next month? When do you guys want to start looking at properties? You know, because if you want to close in 5 months, then we need to kind of start narrowing it down. You know, in the next couple months, it's going to take 30 days to close. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think what I'm missing is actually having a game plan on how I'm gonna follow up, and then having a game plan on how to do it. That's what I'm lacking. That's what I have to work on.
Yeah, exactly. So try that for a while, and hit me on Insta and let me know how it's going, and get back to me with questions. And let me
Great.
know.
Thank you so much.
I want to hear all the successes.
Thank you so much, Ricky.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Let's see. I'm going to go with Jonathan.
Hey,
Yo.
hey, what's up?
Man, you got that comedian vibe.
Man, I just feel like I know you, man. I just, you know, we've had this dialogue. You've been helping me with my deals, so I just, you know, I feel comfortable. I just feel like I know you, you know.
Yeah, man, for sure. Likewise.
Appreciate
So
it.
tell me what's going on, man. How's your business going, and what can I help you with?
Well, the business is going good. My first year, I did pretty good. But after that, I started to, you know, listen to some of your videos, and started to reach out and watch your videos more, and try to put those things into practice. And pretty much, I tripled my income the next year. I got a family. I got 3 boys, and that put me in a position now. I'm able to, buy another house now and, have a bigger space for my boys to run around and, do whatever they need to do. So definitely, really appreciative about that. And I know my family is appreciative.
Well, let me ask you this, man. What part of, what was your biggest takeaway? Like, what was the breakthrough? What did you get out of whatever? And then what actions did you take that made the big swing?
Well, I had got my first deal usually through, I just pretty much related to my first client. My first client actually came in to an open house that I was doing. They were working with another agent. So I was like, I didn't know like how to handle the situation. And so my broker was like, look, just say, hey, email them, and if you guys want to work, we'll work together. But they wanted to work with me pretty much because I just related with them. I didn't hit them with any objection handlers or anything like that. I just happened to be a similar situation, and they worked with me. And then once I saw that that's how your approach is, like, hey, look, just make that connection, go deeper in that. And I just kind of did it by accident, I just kind of, and then I realized it clicked. Said, oh, that's how, every single person is like a fingerprint. Every situation is different, and you
Yeah.
just try to connect on each different situation. So I started to implement, the emails, and it just broadened my thinking. While I'm working on my emails, I'm thinking about real estate. I'm working on my website. I'm thinking about real estate. I'm thinking about how to make things better for my clients, how to make the advertising better. So everything just started. It just gets the ball rolling, gets you thinking, gets you in the mood, gets you excited, and it just gets you out of yourself.
Right. Nice, man. Nice. So what's your question today?
So I wanted to know what was your biggest struggle early on in your career and now?
What was my biggest struggle early on, and then what's my biggest struggle now?
Yeah.
Man, my biggest struggle early on was the fact that I knew that I was one of the hardest working guys on the planet, and I knew that I really wanted it, and I was determined, and I was, dependable, consistent. I knew that I was all those things, but there was something missing though, for me. I knew there was something missing, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And it took me literally having to lose everything, sleeping in my car before I realized that what it was, and that was your business is built on people. And that was a struggle for me, during the first part. Now, later on in my career, I'll tell you this. I don't know if you ever heard me tell this story, but in 2014 was the year I hit #1 in Alabama for Remax, and I did 600K that year. And the next year, I wanted to do 1 million. Okay, this is a good one. This was literally like mid career for me so far, and it was a huge struggle. And I think a lot of people can relate to this and struggle with the same thing. But I wanted to make 1 million the next year. I put together this plan to just really crush it. I was like, I'm going to make this many calls, get this many listings, do this much, and then bam. And I had the whole formula put together. So January rolls around, 2015, I started implementing this plan. February rolls around, March rolls around, and it looks like based on my income level and the amount of listings I'm getting, I'm lining up with the same results as last year, right? It's going to be 600,000 again. And that's when I became deeply frustrated is the best word for it. It wasn't like a depression, like anybody that gets depressed making 600,000 has some other issues going on. But I was really frustrated with myself. I was like, why can't I do this? Like, what is the problem here? And that's when I hired a coach. And that was my first experience with a real estate coach, and that's when some things started to click in my head about how backwards that industry is, that I didn't get into it till later on, but that was my first, dabble into that scene to see what was really going on the inside. But I will give that coach some credit because he didn't necessarily teach me this, but he was very therapeutic for me because it made me calm down and realize, because you know what he was teaching me? He was teaching me expireds. He was teaching me pre-listing packages. He was teaching me, the basic, just, handle objections, get deals signed. And what I learned is that I felt like $1 million because I knew right then that what I was doing was 10 times better than the strategy he was trying to teach me. And that moment, man, that moment right there, 2015, is when I learned patience, because I believe there's 4 keys to success. You got to believe 100 million%, work hard, adapt, and be patient. And if you're not successful or as successful as you want to be, I can have a 5-minute conversation with you and tell you which of these 4. It comes down to these 4. You either don't believe, you're not working hard, you're not adapting and trying new things and trying to test stuff out, or maybe you're doing all 3 of those things really well, but you're just not, you just got to do it longer. And that was my problem. I believed, I worked hard, I was adapting, but I wasn't patient. And like something came over me that year, man, and I realized that there's this place in life where you can be extremely happy. And I wish this for every single person, that if you can find this place that I found, that I'm still at right now, where I'm 100 million% like satisfied and happy with where I am, knowing that I could go way further, but I'm satisfied and like really extremely happy with where I am right now. However, still incredibly motivated, like I'm waking up early, I'm working late, I'm making it happen to try to go farther than people ever dream, even farther than I ever thought I could go, right? I still have that drive, even though I'm super satisfied. So most people are either really satisfied and lazy, or they're super motivated and unhappy because they never hit their goals, because they keep pushing their goals further and further and further. Every time they get close, they push it out further. They get $1 million. They want 10 million. Then they want 100 million, and it never ends. So yeah, man, that was a big struggle for me. And I think a lot of people, a lot of agents work hard, believe, they adapt well, they're dependable, they're professional, they care about people, but they just are not being patient. And I see it time and time again where I'm like, man, if you would just keep doing what you're doing, you have no idea where you're going to be in the next 3 years. You're going to go places you never even look, man. When I was coming up, I'm dialed 100 numbers with my finger, no dialers. Now you can do things 10 times faster. And it blows my mind of how fast you can really become successful in real estate based on the amount of people you can talk to, compared to what it's, how many I could talk to dialing with my finger at the time. It's crazy how fast you can be. And I'm like, man, I see agents killing the dialer. I have an agent, he did 15,000 calls this year so far, right? And I'm just like, man, because when you get to 100,000 calls, because that's how many I did, you get to 100,000 calls, you're going to have talked to 10,000 people, 10%, you talk to 10% of your dials, and you have 50% of those are great conversations that end up, they don't all do business with you, but you have great conversations. And, let's just say 1-2% actually do business with you. Out of 100,000, that's 1 to 2,000 people, and then think about all that repeat business, referrals and referrals of referrals. You know what I mean? Patience, man, patience.
I hear you. I struggled through this year, and I felt like, man, I feel like I did some like horrible job. But then when I look back at it, I was like, I did 3 times better than what I did last year. So I could definitely like relate to that, to where I'm usually critical of myself, thinking that, oh, today I could have made more calls today, or I might have spent too much time on the phone with the client. I could have did this better. I'm always looking at some things that I could have done better, as opposed to looking at, okay, what was the work that I did do? Forget about what I could have did better now. Just do that the next day, But as a parent, I'm curious, like during this time, being a new dad. Congratulations again. I know just the joy of your life. During this COVID time, being a dad, how has it been affecting your business? Being a new dad in COVID time and stuff.
Well, dude, I'm extremely lucky, man. I got the best number one wife in the world, and she is like amazing, right? She is above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew she was going to be a good mother, but it's like way more than I expected. So man, she takes it all off of me, man. I'm able to continue doing what I do. And so that I I would say that it's been more of a positive than a negative as far as my business goes, because it's given me so much more motivation. It's put me in a completely different place in terms of what I want, what my goals are, what I think about and stuff like that. So at 5 o'clock every evening, I completely shut down. I may answer a call, maybe, depending on what it is. I reject a lot of calls, but I'm shut down and I'm spending time with them. And that's been just amazing. So the pandemic has really been, it's been a blessing to me because I never liked working out of my house, right? Hated it. You know what I'm saying? But since the pandemic, I've absolutely loved it. It's forced me to work at the house and I'm enjoying it and I'm here with the family. You know what I'm saying? So no, it's been great. And Whitley, she wakes up laughing and giggling every morning. You know what I'm saying? Every morning she's in her crib, just giggling and laughing as she's waking up. And it's just like, what the hell? And then she sleeps all the way till about 7. So, I get up at 4:30, I'm answering my DMs. I'm in the gym at 5. I take a shower. I finish answering my DMs. I've pretty much done everything, eat breakfast and all that before she even wakes up. And it's like she knows, you know what I'm saying? It's like she knows that she needs to give me that time to do what I need to do. You know what I mean? So that I can keep being the best me I can be. So yeah, it's been a really incredible experience.
Good. Thank you, appreciate it.
Cool, bro. Hey, good chatting with you, man. Let's keep the conversation going on Instagram. You can always hit me up. Let me know what you need and what I can do for you, my guy.
Yeah, I'd definitely love to get together again. You could pick my brain about the 4 things that I might possibly need, and I could definitely try to improve on that as well. I would love to do that.
Hey, dude, I'm glad to do it, man. I'm glad to do it. We'll get on. Hit me up, and we'll get on a call next week, man, and we'll have that call.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, bro. Steven.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, buddy. So 3 months in, you watched my video on make 100,000 in your first year.
Yep.
So how's that looking?
Unlike Evelyn, I'm off to kind of a slower start, which I think may be a good thing for me in the long run.
Mhm.
And like I mentioned, I'm part-time at the moment, so I'm kind of balancing 2 businesses, which plays a role in that. But yeah, man, it's going good. I'm feeling really good about making my calls. I wanted to tell you thanks for all the content you're putting out, man. I follow you every day, and you're what keeps me going as well. But that was one of my questions. Like being a newbie. You know, I've had some deals that I thought were for sure thing, and they fall through, and I know that's part of the business.
Yeah.
But what advice would you give a new person just to keep their head up during those times?
Before you get to your first deal, you mean?
Yeah.
It's really tough, man. It's tough, bro. It's real tough. That's the hardest time, is trying to fight through and bust through to that first deal. There's so many moving parts. So as a new agent, you get so overwhelmed because as soon as you come in the business, it's like, okay, you got to take your class, take your test, pick a broker. Then you got to, once you pick your broker, then you have to do all the applications to get your license. Then you got to get on MLS, you got to do a website, get business cards, learn how to do MLS, learn how to do contracts, learn how to build your business. Everybody's pulling you in different directions. Oh, you need to call these leads. Oh, you need to do this lead. And you're just sitting here like, what do I do? So it's tough. So I would say this, man. I would say that look at it on a 3-year track, right? Say, listen, I don't care how long. It took me 8 months to make my first sale. So think about that for a second. I'm 20 years old. I'm roofing houses. Okay. I have my real estate license, and I think I'm just going to come in and sell property in day one. That's what I thought. I thought I was going to come in and sell property day one. So for me to come in, not sell property day one, continue roofing houses day in and day out for 8 months while I'm doing real estate on the side to try to make a sale was brutal for a 20-year-old impatient, person, right? 20-year-olds are impatient, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm 43 and I feel impatient.
it's brutal. It's very brutal. So, man, listen, like I said to Evelyn, winners, they once they realize how hard this business really is, they lean into it. They're like, oh, okay, that's how it is. And this is the level. It's like, most agents, if I ask them, how many people are you working with that might do something in the next 90 days? The most common answer is
4.
every time. And statistically, that's one deal. But they're working these 4 prospects and they're not even trying to find other prospects. And it's like, okay, they think they have 4 deals, but they really have one. And then after that one closes, then what? They haven't done anything to try to build a pipeline of any kind of way, any sorts. And so once a winner goes through that cycle and learns how hard this business is, and then, okay, you got to have 20 people that might do something in the next 90 days just to close one a week. If you can maintain a 20 to 30, a pipeline of 20 to 30 that might buy or sell in the next 90 days, that's 1 or 2 closings a week. But, as a new agent, we don't have to close 1 to 2 a week. We'd be good with just 1 a month, right?
Sure.
So if you can just have 10, if you just had 10 people, right, that might do something in the next 90 days and maintain a list of 10 people that might do something and continue following up, learning why they want to do stuff, creating these game plans around why they're wanting to do it, and, really getting to know them and really trying to help them, you will start closing 1 a month. You know what I mean? So it all comes down to numbers. It comes down to intentions. It comes down to understanding the benchmarks and, just not giving up. I mean, I could have gave up several times, but I'm just not, I don't know why I just don't give up on stuff. I thought about giving up on coaching at one point. I thought about giving up on football one time in high school. There's been several things in my life where it got really hard for a second. I had a fork in the road. I had a crossroads it came to. It was like, do I keep going? Do I not? Is this too hard? And I just always pick the keep going road, and I always come out on top. You know what I mean? So I think you should just put it in the back of your head that maybe it takes, 6 more months to do my first deal. Maybe it takes 1 month, but it doesn't matter either way, because why? Because you wake up right now, what's your job?
To talk to people, to build relationships.
Well, how do you pay your bills? Do you have a job?
I own a distribution company, so I'm in sales. And I've been paid on.
When you get up to go to that distribution job, what do you do all day in terms of the level of effort you're putting in?
To be honest, a lot of it's driving time, and then I go out and create sales. And I've built a clientele, so perhaps I've got a little.
But here's the thing, bro. You are grinding all day long. Okay, you're either in a car going to a sale, or you're trying to call people. You're following up. You're trying to make it happen. All right. Yeah. So what you do now and what you do once you go full-time real estate is going to be no difference. There's going to be no difference in your routine of getting up and going to work, grinding as hard as you can. You know what I mean? There's going to be no difference. So in my mind, I'm like, what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep grinding all day, every day. We'll eventually get there. You know what I'm saying? Remember what I said, bro. Be happy with where you are, because it could be a lot worse. Sure. And still have the drive to just crush it going forward. You know what I mean? And just try to get 1% better every day.
Love it.
Cool, man. Cool. Anything else I can do for you?
Well, yeah, another question I've always had, and I'm glad to have an opportunity to ask you is, you seem to be the king of multitasking, obviously. How do you juggle everything, man?
I think the biggest thing is that I don't worry. I let the process take care of itself on so many things. Like a lot of my closings, I just let them happen. You know, there's probably deals right now that I probably like by the book should have called my sellers on, like I hadn't talked to them in a couple weeks. But the thing is the deal's great. The deal's fine. And I'm out here, doing other deals left and right. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So a lot of my success comes from the fact that I don't worry about the deal as much as other agents do. I take care of it. I'm not saying I neglect them and just say, oh, they'll close, whatever, don't worry about it. No, I'm not saying that. I watch them very closely, but I know when to spend time on something and when not to. And I think most people spend time on stuff when they don't really have to, and that clogs up their bandwidth and they can't handle as much. You know what I mean? So for me, multitasking, I don't know. I have it in my mind what the most important things are, like I have to do my DMs, right? And I'm going to work out, it's really systematic. It's really more of a time blocking thing than more of a, oh, he's doing all this at once. I answer my DMs, I work out, I have breakfast, then I study my business and create my little sheet. Like this was my sheet today, right? This is my legal pad. These are all the deals and different things I'm working on. These were different things I needed to follow up on. These are 2 deals I'm negotiating. And these are just little notes I took throughout the day that I needed to know stuff. Actually, these 4 right here are things that I took from what's going on today that I need to do right after this meeting. So I have another little meeting with myself at 3 o'clock or whenever, and I nail down the things that I need to get done before the end of the day. So I time block, and then once I create this list, then I just kind of focus on it. You know what I mean? I have at the top, okay, I need to post on Instagram, I need to make sure my YouTube's out, I need to follow up with these people, I need to do, you know what I mean? And I just go down the list. That's why it looks like I'm all over the place doing all kinds of stuff, because my list is a mixture of different things, but it's a list. And I'm just checking the list.
Yeah, time blocking is definitely something I know I could get better at. And I think with time as I go, that'll fall into place.
Yeah, for
But
sure, man. For sure. Well, dude, I'm excited to see where you go from here. You know what I mean? 3 months in, and a direct influencee of the Ricky Carruth YouTube channel. So I'm
that's right.
excited. I'm excited to see where you go, man. And I think everybody is. Jonathan had one more question before we see what everybody's social handles are and stuff. What's up, Jonathan?
Hey, Ricky. Hey, so I've been watching you, and I know before you would, you said how like you wouldn't like to do coaching and stuff like that, or have like a team. Not, I'm sorry, not coaching, but have a team.
Yeah.
So now you have the team with EXP. So I was just wondering if in your evolution involving as a real estate agent, how did that come about? And then also, would you ever take that and then now consider becoming a broker and then maybe owning maybe more than one office?
Right. So as far as the team goes, right, it's 2 different things, right? There's the my real estate business, my local real estate business, and there's the EXP team, agents all over the world. So those will stay separate because I don't want buyer's agents. I don't want, listing agents. I don't want, you know what I mean? I don't want ISAs. I don't want, the team structure of the traditional local team structure. It works too well for me as a single agent when I just send a weekly email out. 19,000 people get it. Over 5,300 open it up this week, and I get just an inflow of just constant business. I mean, I'm having my best year ever right now. You know what I mean? And it just works too well because the deals at this point are the cream of the crop, man. It's people that have done deals with me or referring a deal to me. And these are just, I mean, 1 out of 20 is a nightmare, but 19 deals go really smooth and easy. You know what I mean? So, and my assistant, we've been working together so closely for so long. We're working on 7 years now. We're just like, we have it down. We know what we expect out of each other. and we just kind of make it work. And what was the other question?
Would that, maybe
Oh,
evolve later on
brokers.
to
Well,
maybe
man, yeah,
broker with some offices?
yeah. See, the thing is that with EXP, you're literally, the moment you become EXP, it's the same thing as you started your own franchise, nationally, even worldwide. You immediately can go, hire agents, in other states, other countries, right? And then whoever they bring on and they bring on, you can create this huge network without ever having a broker's license. And all those agents that you sponsor in and you coach and you help and are part of your team, you have zero liability of. So why would I go be a broker and have liability? If I'm a local broker, right? If I open up a local, KW or Remax, I'm just a broker bound by my geographical location. I'm trying to recruit agents locally to make a cut of their commission, and I have all the liability.
Right.
Why would I do that when I could go over here and immediately expand nationally with zero liability? See what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I am a broker. Like, I have my broker's license. I've had it. When you're in Alabama, once you're an agent for 2 years, you can go get your broker's license. So after 2 years, I went and took my broker's test. I mean, I've had my broker's license from day one. You know what I mean? And actually in 2005, I branched off and I started my own company. It was called Sunset Realty. And then me and my dad went partners on a company called Blue Water Real Estate. And that was short-lived because the market was crashing so much, you know what I mean? And so I eventually kind of floundered away. And I realized that I didn't want anything to do with owning my own company. And I definitely didn't want anything to do with dealing with agents and different problems and liability and stuff. You know what I mean? I want to coach and I want to help agents be the best version of themselves possible. I don't want to also hold the liability and deal with, the responsibility, like right now, the agents that I have, like, I lead them to water, they drink it or they don't, but it's not my responsibility to put food on their table. It's their responsibility to take what I teach them and go execute. You know what I mean?
I didn't know the difference between the two.
Huge difference. Huge difference. So all of you guys unmute. I'm gonna start with Jonathan. Tell everybody where they can find you. If you got anything else you want to shout out or say.
Okay, you can find me on Instagram at Jonathan Remax Solutions. That's my Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Real Estate to Last Remax Solutions. My photographer is Josh King. He is at the Lost I Found Photography. That's Lost EYE Found Photography. And that's Josh King, the real Josh King on Instagram. Also, my diet is very important, gives me a lot of energy. So you can find the Alkaline Wave, the Alkaline WAV on Instagram. He has a lot of good herbs, and I get my sea moss from him. So that helps me, energize in the morning.
I hear you, bro. I hear you, man. You got some shout outs going on. Evelyn, where can they find you?
I have 2 Instagram accounts, Evelyn Bianco and Evelyn Bianco Realtor. The Evelyn Bianco one is more of a fitness because I'm a fitness competitor. So you're going to find a lot of fitness and workouts and nutritional stuff on there. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be here today, because I not only got nuggets from when we were chatting, I got nuggets from the answers that you were giving the others here. So I really want to thank you. It was very good for me. It was. Thanks.
Good. I'm so glad. Stephen, where can they find you?
I am on Instagram at Stephen.Ivory _ realtor, and it's Stephen with a PH. I'm also on Facebook, Stephen Ivory Realtor, and I have a website, yourutahhomeguy.com.
Cool.
And just want to thank you, Ricky, for everything again, man. You've been very inspirational, and I'm excited for what the future holds.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You guys hang out for a second afterwards, and we'll chat it up for a second. Everybody else out there, thank you so much for tuning in for my very first show here. I'm going to be doing this every Thursday at the same time, 4 p.m. Central. Text the number to win a spot on the show. And I look forward to chatting with you guys on real coaching in real time. I think this thing was a huge success. I think a lot of people got a lot of value out of this. So I'm excited about continuing to do this for you guys. So again, thank you. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Let's go.